Did you know that eating eggs the wrong way could actually harm your health, especially if you're over 60? It sounds surprising, doesn't it? After all, eggs have long been celebrated as one of the healthiest foods on the planet. They're affordable, versatile, and packed with nutrients. But for older adults, the way you cook, choose, and even pair your eggs with other foods can make all the difference between building strength and quietly weakening your heart muscles or circulation. You see, many seniors enjoy eggs daily without realizing that simple mistakes like overcooking them or using the wrong kind of oil can gradually turn this so-called superfood into something that works against the body instead of for it. And that's exactly why this message matters. Because when we age, every small decision, especially about what we put on our plates, carries a bigger impact. Our bodies process nutrients differently. Our arteries become more sensitive. Our muscles need more careful support. And even foods that seem safe like eggs can have unintended effects if handled the wrong way. So, today, let's gently peel back the shell on some of the most common mistakes older adults make with eggs and how you can fix them simply and safely without giving up your favorite breakfast. In fact, by the end of this video, you'll know how to enjoy eggs in a way that strengthens your body, fuels your brain, and supports your heart, all without confusion or fear. And before we go any further, if you're someone who cares deeply about staying strong, independent, and full of vitality after 60, don't forget to subscribe to Senior Fit. You'll find more videos like this one, practical, science-backed, and crafted with your health in mind. Let's begin with the first mistake, one that almost everyone makes at some point, especially when in a hurry, overcooking your eggs. Now, it might seem like the safest option. You want to make sure they're cooked through no runny parts, no risks. So you boil them until they're solid. Fry them until they're crispy, scramble them until they're dry. It feels familiar. It feels thorough. But what most people don't realize is that overcooking eggs, especially at high heat, quietly strips away some of the most precious nutrients your body needs as it gets older. Vitamin A, which supports your immune system and your vision. Vitamin D, essential for your bones and for reducing inflammation. B vitamins that help your brain stay clear, your nerves stay sharp, and your energy stay steady. These vitamins are delicate, and the longer an egg is exposed to high heat, the more of those benefits simply vanish. And that's not the worst part. When eggs are overcooked, especially the yolk, the cholesterol inside them oxidizes. That might sound technical, but here's what it really means for you. Oxidized cholesterol is not the same as natural cholesterol, the kind your body uses to build hormones and repair cells. This oxidized version has been linked to inflammation inside your arteries, which contributes to stiff blood vessels, high blood pressure, and reduced blood flow to your brain and limbs. And when circulation is compromised, it's your legs that suffer first. Your muscles get less oxygen. They fatigue faster. Recovery slows. Balance weakens. So something as simple as walking up the stairs or standing from a chair becomes harder than it should be, not just because of age, but because of poor nutrient delivery caused by what's happening inside your body, possibly triggered by how you cooked your eggs. But here's the good news. This is one of the easiest mistakes to fix. Instead of frying eggs on high or boiling them for 15 minutes until the yolk turns green and rubbery, aim for a gentler approach. Soft-boiled eggs cooked for about 6 to 7 minutes. Leave the yolk golden and slightly runny, keeping the nutrients intact and the cholesterol in its natural, healthy form. Poached eggs are another great choice. They don't require added fat and cook just enough to solidify the white while preserving the goodness in the yolk. Even scrambled eggs can be healthy. If you use a low flame, stir them slowly and remove them from the pan the moment they say set. It's all about using just enough heat to make the egg safe and enjoyable without destroying what makes it beneficial. And if you prefer hard-boiled eggs, keep the boiling time to about 9 or 10 minutes. Then transfer them immediately into cold water. This stops the cooking process and prevents the yolk from turning gray, a sign that it's been overdone. These small changes can make a meaningful difference in how eggs nourish your body. You're not just saving nutrients, you're protecting your heart, keeping your blood flowing, and giving your muscles the building blocks they need to stay strong. Now, while overcooking is a common issue, it's not the only one. In fact, the next mistake might be even more dangerous, and it has nothing to do with the egg itself. It has to do with what you're cooking it in. Because that oil sitting on your kitchen counter, the one you drizzle into the pan every morning, could be quietly turning your healthy breakfast into a source of inflammation, fatigue, and cardiovascular stress. Let's pick up right where we left off. You've learned how overcooking your eggs can quietly drain them of nutrients and even introduce harmful cholesterol into your body. But there's another mistake that's just as common and in some ways even more dangerous because it's so easy to overlook. And it's not about the egg itself. It's about the oil you cook it in. Now, many of us grew up using whatever cooking oil was on hand: canola corn, soybean, or even margarine. They were inexpensive, easy to find, and seemed like neutral choices. You pour a little in the pan, let it sizzle, crack your egg, and go about your morning. But here's the part that's rarely talked about. Most of these common oils, especially vegetable oils like soybean corn and canola, are high in a type of fat called omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acids. In small amounts, omega-6s are fine, but in excess, and especially when heated to high temperatures, they become unstable. And that's when the real trouble begins. When these oils are heated, like when you fry an egg, they oxidize. They break down into harmful compounds that promote inflammation inside the body. And that inflammation doesn't always show up as something dramatic. It's often silent creeping. You feel a little more sluggish. Your joints are stiffer. Your recovery from walking or climbing stairs takes longer. You might think it's just age, but it's not always age. It's inflammation. And what you cook your eggs in plays a bigger role than most people realize. Inflammation is the quiet root of many chronic diseases. It weakens the walls of your arteries. It restricts blood flow. It accelerates the wear and tear in your joints. Over time, it raises your risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, memory issues, and yes, even leg weakness. To make matters worse, some of these processed oils contain hidden trans fats, even if the label says 0. You see food. Labeling laws allow companies to claim 0 grams of trans fat as long as there's less than half a gram per serving. But when you use these oils regularly, it adds up. And trans fats are devastating. They lower your HDL, the good cholesterol your body needs, and raise LDL, the bad kind. They create the perfect storm for cardiovascular strain. For seniors, that's the last thing your body needs. But here's where it turns around, because the fix is simple, and it starts with a switch. If you want to keep enjoying fried eggs without putting your heart and joints at risk, just change the oil. Instead of vegetable or seed oils, reach for heat-stable, heart-friendly options like extra virgin olive oil, rich in antioxidants and proven to reduce inflammation. Avocado oil, neutral taste, high smoke point, loaded with mono unsaturated fats. Ghee, a clarified butter used for centuries that tolerates heat well and supports joint health. Real butter in small amounts can also be a much safer alternative than industrial seed oils. When you use these healthier fats, not only do your eggs taste better, they become easier on your arteries, easier on your digestion, and far more nourishing overall. And remember, you don't have to fry your eggs every time. Soft, boiled, poached, or gently scrambled eggs cooked on low heat without added oils can be just as satisfying and even better for your body. It's not about taking the joy out of your meals. It's about keeping your body working with you, not against you. It's about choosing oils that support your energy, your circulation, your brain, and your legs. Every pan you heat up is a small opportunity to heal or harm, and with the right oil, it becomes a tool for healing. So, we've talked about cooking methods, we've talked about the oils you use, but now we need to talk about something deeper. Something that many older adults have been told for decades, and something that's been flat out misunderstood. Because the next mistake, it involves throwing away the very part of the egg that holds most of its power. And it's time we set the record straight. Let's talk about why skipping the yolk might be quietly weakening your body, and how bringing it back can change everything. Let's take a moment to go back in time. Do you remember the health advice we all heard for decades? Avoid egg yolks. They're full of cholesterol. Stick to the whites. It was everywhere in magazines, on TV, even from some doctors. Many of us took that advice to heart. Maybe you still do today. Maybe you crack an egg, toss the yolk, and scramble the whites, thinking you're doing something good for your heart. But here's the truth. Skipping the yolk might be one of the biggest nutritional mistakes seniors make, because that golden center, the part many were told to fear, is actually the most nutritious part of the egg. It's where nearly all the vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, and antioxidants live. It's where the magic happens. When you throw away the yolk, here's what you're really losing. You're losing vitamin D, which helps keep your bones strong and your immune system calm. You're losing choline, a critical nutrient for memory, brain function, and nerve signaling, especially important as we age. You're losing vitamin B12, essential for energy, red blood cell production, and preventing fatigue. You're missing out on lutein and zeaxanthin, two powerful antioxidants that protect your eyes from macular degeneration and shield your body from oxidative stress. And you're discarding healthy fats, the very ones your body needs to absorb fat-soluble vitamins and maintain hormonal balance, joint support, and steady energy. In other words, you're not just tossing out cholesterol. You're tossing out strength, clarity, and vitality. And here's something else. The old advice got wrong: eating whole eggs doesn't automatically raise your blood cholesterol. In fact, multiple studies now show that for most people, whole eggs actually improve cholesterol levels. They raise your HDL, your good cholesterol, and help maintain a balanced ratio that supports heart health. What's truly damaging to your heart isn't the cholesterol in an egg yolk. It's the combination of inflammatory seed oils, ultra-processed foods, sugary snacks, and a lack of muscle-supporting nutrients. And when you remove the yolk, you're removing some of the most important pieces of your nutritional puzzle. So if you're over 60 and focused on staying independent, keeping your balance, preserving your memory, and fueling your muscles, the yolk is your friend, not your enemy. That rich yellow center isn't just tasty, it's a natural multivitamin designed by nature to work in harmony with the white protein from the white, vital nutrients from the yolk. Together, they form one of the most complete foods on the planet. You don't need a supplement bottle. You just need the whole egg. So, next time you crack an egg, don't let old advice or outdated myths convince you to throw away the part that supports your brain, bones, and muscles. Eat the yolk. Embrace it. Let it nourish you because your body deserves real nourishment, not half of what nature intended. But now, let's turn to a final and often overlooked issue, something that's become far more common in modern kitchens, and especially in restaurants, cafeterias, and even diet plans. It's the rise of processed egg products. You've seen them. Cartons of liquid eggs, frozen, and breakfast sandwiches, ready-made scrambled eggs in plastic trays. They look convenient. They sound like eggs, but are they really the same? Let's face it, life gets busy, even in retirement. Between managing doctor's appointments, staying active, and trying to eat well, it's easy to reach for foods that promise convenience, and that includes eggs. You might spot them in the refrigerated aisle: liquid egg cartons, frozen egg patties, shelf-stable mixes, or ready-made breakfast sandwiches. They look like eggs. They're marketed as healthy. Some even claim to be high protein or cholesterol-free. But here's what many seniors don't realize. These processed egg products are not the same as real eggs, and they come with risks that often go unnoticed until they show up as chronic fatigue, blood pressure problems, joint pain, or poor circulation. Most processed eggs are heavily altered to keep them shelf-stable or frozen. Manufacturers often add preservatives like sodium benzoate or potassium sorbate. They might seem harmless in small amounts, but when eaten frequently, they can irritate your digestive system and trigger low-grade inflammation in your gut and bloodstream. Then there's the added sodium. Processed egg products often contain far more salt than fresh eggs, and for seniors watching their blood pressure, this can be especially dangerous. High sodium intake stiffens your arteries, makes your heart work harder, and increases the risk of leg swelling, dizziness, and even stroke. Let's not forget about artificial flavorings and colorings. Many prepackaged eggs include additives to make them look yellow, taste richer, or last longer. But those artificial chemicals offer zero nutritional benefit, and they put added pressure on your liver and kidneys to process them. And here's the saddest part of all. Many of these products remove the yolk completely. That means no vitamin D, no choline, no healthy fats, no eye-protecting antioxidants. What you're left with is a pale imitation of real eggs, one that's lower in nutrients, higher in sodium, and often combined with other processed ingredients, like low-quality cheese, white bread, or greasy meats. It's not just about the egg, it's about the whole package. When you regularly eat these kinds of meals, your body doesn't get the tools it needs to recover, move, and think clearly. Over time, that adds up. But again, Just like every other mistake we've talked about, this is fixable. The simplest change you can make: go back to real whole eggs, crack them yourself, scramble them gently in a pan, poach them, boil them, bake them. If you need convenience, boil a batch of eggs at the beginning of the week and keep them in the fridge. They'll stay fresh for several days and can be added to any meal in seconds. And if you do buy a liquid egg product, check the label. Look for ones that say 100% whole egg and nothing else. No gums, no preservatives, no artificial colors. The shorter the ingredient list, the better, because when it comes to protecting your heart, strengthening your legs, supporting your brain, and keeping inflammation low, nature still does it best. You don't need ultra-processed replacements. You just need real food, prepared with care. So let's bring this all together. If you're over 60 and you care about staying active, avoiding unnecessary medications, and living with Vitality eggs can absolutely be your ally. But only if you avoid the common traps. Don't overcook them. Preserve those delicate nutrients. Don't fry them in harmful oils. Choose fats that heal, not hurt. Don't fear the yolk. Embrace it and give your body the vitamins it's craving. And don't rely on processed substitutes. Stick to real whole eggs whenever you can. Because when you eat eggs the right way, they become more than just food. They become a source of strength, stability, and wellness in your life. And the best part, these changes are easy. You don't need to overhaul your kitchen or spend more money. You just need to make small, smart shifts that work with your body, not against it. So the next time you reach for an egg, you'll do it with confidence, knowing you're nourishing your heart, fueling your muscles, and protecting the energy that keeps you moving forward. Thank you for spending this time with us. If this video helped you see eggs in a new light, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to Senior Fit for more health tips tailored just for you. And we'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your favorite healthy way to prepare eggs? You might inspire someone else to make a better choice today. Stay strong, stay informed, and as always, keep moving forward, one good decision at a time.